I'm here with Coach Rusevich, Northwest about to play Page. Coach, starting off, what do you think will be the biggest key factors in this one?
For me, I think, and I told our kids, we need to play disciplined football, inspire each other, and control our emotions in the game. And we preached that all week. We did a great job of it last week, and we need to do it tonight. I think anytime we play Page, in my 2 seasons playing in this 3rd year, it's been a very tough battle and very emotional. Obviously, you're in inter-county. There must be some rivalry here a little bit, but that's it. Those are the keys for me. Inspire each other and let's control our emotions.
I know last week, before the season, I know you talked about a quarterback battle. I know Farrell Price came in against Western Alamance and looked like had a pretty good showing out there. Just how would you describe what he brought last week and his performance out there?
He started out the first half kind of how he left it last year, with a little hesitancy. But I think at halftime he finally figured out, I can do this. And it showed. His arm strength showed with 2 vertical passes that were big plays for us. His emotion in the pocket was good, and he started to settle his feet a little bit. And I think he needed that type of game, and we're hoping he just can build off of that.
In terms of tonight, is he the starter tonight as well?
Yeah, he's proven himself in that game for sure. We have a really good guy that's doing, catching passes and running the ball for us. And Anders, who started last year, at any time if we need to get the other guy out there, he's ready.
I know, obviously, you've seen Page before, as you mentioned. When you're evaluating this team, how much do you use in terms of film from last week, film from last season? How do you kind of evaluate the preparation there?
Honestly, I may be a rare breed. I don't use film from last season's, as I've always thought it's new personnel, new teams, and teams find new strengths every year depending on their personnel and their staffs and staff changes. So really all it came down to is, we took in consideration of some of the things they did last year that were well, maybe things that they saw that we did, but we're a different defense, we're a different offense, and so are they, and I think that the big key for us was what they did last week. And then you always look at Thursday night to kind of see what are their key things they're doing with the young guys, because that's probably the key things that they have in their system.
What were your biggest impressions from their game against Charlotte Christian last week?
Their physicality. Page has always been, and recruiting it, playing against them, always been very physical, very athletic and physical. I just think that in the Charlotte Christian game, I think what got them is a lot of missed assignments, just things that maybe they're supposed to be in this coverage and one guy messed up here, and Charlotte Christian took advantage of it. I gotta think that being well coached, they're gonna fix some of those things coming into this week, and probably will be a little more disciplined for sure.
I know from playing them last year and seeing them last week, what were the biggest differences you noticed from last year's Page versus what you saw last week?
Well, their quarterback was only a freshman a year ago. He's now a sophomore, and I think he's much improved. I think a lot of those young guys that were playing JV last year that thrashed us, so at 49 to something, 0 maybe, are now playing up at the varsity level. So, they got some personnel, but not a lot of experience. Maybe 1 game of varsity under their belt. So I think, hopefully our experience can pay off for it. They got a lot of guys playing both ways. They didn't do that a year ago. So, obviously that might have been part of the problem last week too, is they might have got worn down. It didn't look like they got worn down, but I know that can possibly happen when you're playing both ways.
In terms of the Western Alamance game, what were the biggest things that maybe you didn't know about your team that you felt like got answered last week for you?
Our emotions. There were moments in that game where a year or even 2 years ago, we let the emotional battles get the best of us. That was a really tight game, 21-14 or 21-7 through most of that game, and there were things happening that our kids were able to control, pushing, shoving, and walking away, where they got the penalties we didn't. And a year ago they were offsetting or we got them. So I think for me that was huge. I also think defensively we picked up where we left off. Last 2 years, opening game, we made some major breakdowns in what we did defensively, and it hurt us in both games. I felt like we gave up 7 points. It was a short drive. And I think our guys picked up. We shut them out in the first half, and that was big for our guys to see that, hey, look, keep doing what we're coaching you. And shoot, we got a bunch of young guys on defense playing for us. So I think the senior leadership's helping because they're buying in.
I know Austin Jackson, a lot of people know about him already, but the safety and a big 77-yard touchdown last week too. I mean, are we expecting to see him on offense more this year?
Yeah,
Or
well,
just,
he asked me back in the spring, Coach, can I play some receiver? And I said, Austin, you want to play receiver? To be a two-way player, you got to be in great shape. He took that challenge. Him and another sophomore, Nick Varga, who's starting for us at free safety, are in great shape, and they deserve it. I mean, they're good enough to do both ways. And I think the key for us right now is they're both talented enough to do it, but their conditioning is what put them over the top for us, and that's why he got the opportunity to go out and play.
I know the defense, holding Western Alamance like it did, and I know you've had good defenses over the years, but what were the biggest things that eliminated that Western Alamance offense for a large part?
Our D-line. Our D-line is, we lost a lot from last year, and our guys stepped up. Rob Lang, Deegan Sowers, Matt Mungus at end, all played a lot for us last year. And then interior, we got Marcus Gilliard, a senior, and Vince Wilson was a starting guard on JV last year, at 290, and he stepped up. And then Ben Biggs was a linebacker, moved into the lineup. Our D-line played extremely well and disciplined and just dominated as much as they could up front, which helped our linebackers and, of course, our safeties. We play fast back there, and they did a great job picking up where we left off a year ago. But I would say it definitely started up front.
Do you have any, I guess for this game, any new starters or injuries or anything like that to report?
No, everybody. Actually, we got guys. We demoted or promoted some guys from last week's Thursday night game to dress. One of our corners that started on Thursday is going to dress tonight and play. He had a great game. He's better than Thursday nights. And then we have a sophomore D tackle that we wanted to see him live last Thursday and see how he did. And he'll be dressing tonight and playing significant snaps. Jadon Martin as well. So no, we actually gained 2 this week.
All right, Coach Savage, thank you for your time. Good luck to you.
Yeah.